Welcome to the world of mobile gaming, where the possibilities are endless and the adventure is just a tap away. Today, we are taking a journey through the top 100 best games for Android and iOS in 2023, showcasing a diverse range of genres, styles, and experiences that will keep you entertained for hours on end. So grab your device and don't forget to drop a like on this video, plus subscribe to this channel with notifications on. This is Jasper and let's begin. Starting with number 1, Genshin Impact. It's an open-world action RPG with stunning visuals, a deep combat system, and a vast world to explore. On number 2, Monument Valley 2. This one is a beautiful and mind-bending puzzle game with optical illusions, clever mechanics, and a relaxing atmosphere. Next over at number 3, Stardew Valley. The game offers a charming farming simulation with a focus on relaxation, exploration, and community. And on number 4, League of Legends Wild Rift. It's a 5 vs 5 MOBA with a simplified control scheme, a focus on mobile-first gameplay, and a diverse cast of champions. On number 5, The Elder Scrolls Blades. The game offers an action RPG with a focus on dungeon crawling, exploration, and crafting. So, on number 6, Grid Autosport. It's a racing game with stunning graphics, realistic handling, and a variety of cars and tracks to choose from. Moving on to number 7, Call of Duty Mobile. Well, it's a shooter with a variety of game modes, including multiplayer, zombies, and ranked play. On number 7, PUBG Mobile. A battle royale game with a large map, a variety of weapons and vehicles, and a focus on strategic gameplay. So, on number 6, Diablo Immortal. This one is an action RPG with a focus on hack-and-slash gameplay, character customization, and online multiplayer. On number 7, Alchemy Stars, an RPG with a unique turn-based combat system, a gacha system for acquiring characters, and a beautiful anime art style. Next over at number 8, Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds. The game offers an RPG with a collaboration between Level 5 and Ghibli, stunning visuals, and a focus on exploration and storytelling. On number 9, Pokemon Unite, a MOBA with a focus on teamwork, strategic gameplay, and capturing objectives. Now, on number 10, Honkai Impact 3rd. It's an action-packed RPG with stunning visuals, a deep combat system, and a variety of characters to choose from. And on number 11, Dislyte. This one is a gacha RPG with a focus on music, urban fantasy setting, and stylish characters. On number 12, Dead Cells Mobile, a roguelike action platformer with a focus on permadeath, procedurally generated levels, and a punishing but rewarding combat system. Down to number 13, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. It's a roguelike dungeon crawler with a focus on exploration, item discovery, and a unique gameplay style. On number 14, Titan Quest Legendary Edition, an action RPG with a focus on hack-and-slash gameplay. Number 15, Pascals Wager. It's an action Souls-like RPG with a focus on exploration, puzzle solving, and a dark fantasy setting. Now, number 16, Crashlands, an action RPG with a focus on crafting, exploration, and a quirky sense of humor. On number 17, Night of the Full Moon. This one is a puzzle adventure game with a focus on story, atmosphere, and unique puzzle mechanics. Next over at number 18, Shadowgun Legends. It's an FPS with a focus on story, action-packed combat, and a variety of weapons to choose from. Number 19, Grimvalor. This one is a hack-and-slash action RPG with a focus on intense combat, challenging bosses, and a dark fantasy setting. Now, on number 20, The Room, a puzzle game with a focus on manipulating objects, solving puzzles, and escaping from a mysterious room. Next over at number 21, Republique. It's a stealth adventure game with a focus on hacking, puzzle solving, and a dystopian setting. On number 22, Rusty Lake Hotel. It's a point-click adventure game with a focus on a surreal atmosphere, puzzle solving, and a dark and disturbing story. Number 23, Cube Escape The Cave. It's a point-and-click adventure game with a focus on surreal atmosphere, puzzle solving, and a connection to the Rusty Lake universe. Next over at number 24, The Telos Principle, a puzzle game with a focus on philosophy, artificial intelligence, and a minimalistic aesthetic. On number 25, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, an open-world action-adventure game with a focus on exploration, crime, and a satirical look at American culture. Now on number 26, Bully Anniversary Edition, an open-world action-adventure game with a focus on exploration, schoolyard antics, and a unique sense of humor. Number 27, Max Payne Mobile, a third-person action shooter with a focus on bullet time, a near narrative, and a memorable soundtrack. Down to number 28, XCOM 2. It's a sequel to XCOM Enemy Unknown with a focus on a more open-world approach, new enemies, and a more challenging campaign. On number 29, Civilization 6, a turn-based strategy game with a focus on building an empire, exploring the world, and engaging in diplomacy or conflict with other civilizations. Number 30, GTA Vice City, a sequel to Grand Theft Auto 3 with a focus on a 1980s setting, a vibrant soundtrack, and a memorable cast of characters. Next over at number 31, GTA Liberty City Stories, a prequel to Grand Theft Auto 3 with a focus on story, exploration, and a more character-driven narrative. Number 32, Fire Emblem Heroes, a turn-based tactical RPG with a focus on character relationships, school life, and a war between three kingdoms. Now on 33, GTA Chinatown Wars, a top-down action-adventure game with a focus on story, exploration, and a unique setting. Number 34, Fortnite, a third-person battle royale game with a focus on building, shooting, and surviving. On number 35, The House of Da Vinci, it's a point-and-click adventure game with a focus on historical setting, puzzle solving, and a connection to Leonardo da Vinci. Down to number 36, The Room 2, a sequel to The Room with more challenging puzzles, a more intricate story, and a darker atmosphere. Number 37, GTA 3, an open-world action-adventure game that revolutionized the genre with its 3D setting, its sandbox gameplay, and its mature themes. 38, Shadow Fight 2, a 2D fighting game that runs you into Shadow, a warrior who arms himself with loads of different weapons to try to defeat all the enemies in his path. Next over at number 39, Reverse 1999, a title that combines RPG with gacha gameplay and card games. You will explore a new world while trying to get as many characters as possible to help you in your adventure. On number 40, Asphalt 9, an arcade racing with real cars for fast driving. You can ride on prototypes of famous sports cars, exact copies of the real ones. Number 41, Devil May Cry Peak of Combat, the Android adaptation of the Devil May Cry video game series. In this game, you will find the same hack-and-slash gameplay found in its console and PC counterparts, including combat. 42, Minecraft Pocket Edition, a sandbox game with a focus on creativity, exploration, and building anything you can imagine. Number 43, Albion Online. It's a traditional-length MMORPG set in a giant medieval fantasy world that offers the fast, real multi-platform experience. Down to number 44, Summoner's War Chronicles. This one is an MMORPG, takes full of advantage of the Summoner's War franchise to take you into a spectacular universe with locations spread over an extensive map. And on number 45, AFK Arena, an idle RPG with a focus on leveling up your heroes, collecting powerful artifacts, and battle through various stages and bosses. Number 46, Ace Racer. This one is a 3D driving game where you get behind the wheel of tons of vehicles from legendary racing teams such as Porsche, BMW, and Nissan to complete in exciting online races. 47, Arena Breakout. It's a survival FPS by Tencent that plunges you into a new world full of enemies and armed conflict. On number 48, Roblox, an authentic sandbox universe that will take you into a world with more than 100 million participating gamers. The game allows you freedom of creativity, freedom to be anything you want. Next over at number 49, Honkai Star Rail. It's a new JRPG developed by MiHoYo, set in an open world inspired by Genshin Impact and Honkai Impact. Now on number 50, Souls. This one is an SRPG that transports you to a beautiful universe whose different characters must join forces to defeat a range of enemies. Coming up at number 51, Bus Simulator Indonesia, a 3D bus driving game where you get behind the wheel of a bus full of passengers and drive through various cities in Indonesia. Number 52, Vice Online. It's an open-world game inspired by the successful GTA Online, which lets you venture into a lawless city. On number 53, Warcraft Rumble. This one is a real-time strategy and action game set in the Warcraft universe, where you can collect some of its most iconic heroes and characters in fun miniature versions. Number 54, Hunt Down Cyberpunk Adventure. An excellent 2D pixel art shooter in the best traditions of old-school representatives of the genre. High dynamics, cyberpunk, madness of the distant future, incredibly cool main characters, and a variety of deadly gadgets and much more make the project a real holiday for gamers. Down to number 55, Among Us. This one is a fun game that packed with action and full of intrigue. On number 56, Clash of Clans. The game offers a management RTS. Here you will find a village where the members of your fearless clan reside. Then you get to send them out into the world to face missions and prove their courage while destroying enemy camps. Number 57, Brawlhalla. This is a 2D fighting platformer from Ubisoft with dozens of legendary heroes and cross-platform battles in different modes. Next over at number 58, Shadow Fight Arena. It's a 2D fighting game that sets in the Shadow Fight universe. Here you get the chance to go head-to-head against other players online in exhilarating PvP battles. On number 59, Vector, a two-dimensional platform game that can be summed up as a perfect mix of Canult and Mirror's Edge, perfectly adapted for touch screens. Now on number 60, Real Racing 3. It's the third installment from the Star Racing franchise of Electronic Arts with spectacular detail regarding the cars. On number 61, SimCity Build It. It's a mobile version of the new SimCity from Maxis that, like the original PC game, lets you create your very own city from the top floor of a skyscraper to the water system underground. Number 62, Phantom Blade Executioners. The game offers beautiful graphics and side-scroller action with very comfortable control of creating bundles of blows and launching unique abilities of the character. 63, Car X Highway Racing. A real racing game with a combination of a game world and real-life physics world. Eye-catching graphics and outstanding driving ability on crowded roads are great experiences that this game brings to the player. On number 64, Car X Street. It's a modern racing arcade game about night street competitions on the fastest cars. The game offers dozens of cars with detailed tuning, fun races on roads with traffic and special tracks. Now on number 65, F1 Mobile Racing. The official FIA Formula 1 World Championships game, which puts you behind the wheel of a bunch of real vehicles and challenges you to compete in some of the World Championship official circuits. Number 67, Shadow Fight 3. It's a 2D fighting game where you have to create your own warrior, equip him with tons of armor and weapons, and try to defeat all the enemies you encounter. On number 68, Blade of God. It's a 3D action game that's clearly inspired by the God of War saga. Down to number 69, Marvel Snap. The official card game of the well-known Marvel company. Users will delve into the franchise's vast multiverse in this video game, gathering renewed characters from the comics. On number 70, 8-Ball Pool. It's a pool game that allows you to play against people from all over the world in turn-based online games to find out who the best player is. So, on number 71, Heyday, a social management game that invites you to run a farm that will definitely require all your attention and skill. And on number 72, Hill Climb Racing. It's a very enjoyable road and platform game in which you have to try and get as far as possible in your vehicle while pulling off the occasionally spectacular maneuver and collecting any coins you find along the way. Number 73, Angry Birds 2, the official sequel of the legendary Angry Birds, one of the most influential and widely downloaded games in history. 74, Temple Run 2, the next installment in this endless runner series, the most successful and popular series in history. It closely follows the original format, offering very similar game mechanics while adding a number of interesting features. Number 75, King of Fighters Arena, a fighting game in which you fight against players from all over the world, become the wrestling champion by defeating all your opponents. Next over at number 76, Real Cricket 22, the official game of cricket. In it, you can enjoy everything related to this game. It has advanced and high-quality graphics, and its animations are created using motion capture of real athletes. Even the stadiums are modeled after real stadiums around the world. Number 77, eFootball 2024. It's a mega realistic and addictive soccer simulator of the latest level. Number 78, EA Sports FC Mobile Soccer, the new version of mobile soccer simulation game from Electronic Arts. The game has redesigned graphics and sound, added new types of replays, improved gameplay, and introduced a new type of control. And on number 79, Mortal Kombat, the most brutal fights of all time, combines two game genres, a fighting game and a card game. Down to number 80, Tower of Fantasy. It's an incredibly spectacular and exciting sci-fi action RPG with an open world, Asian style of characters and scenery, dynamic battles, and countless adventures in various locations. Coming up at number 81, Mobile Legends Bang Bang. The game will allow players to face off in the 5-on-5 battle arena in the already popular MOBA genre. And on number 82, Modern Combat 5. It's a multiplayer action game released by Gameloft. It is a tense shooter that opens up access to various online game modes along with a great campaign. On number 83, Rocket League Sidewipe. The official adaptation of the Great Rocket League, one of the most popular and spectacular esports right now. Far from being a simple port of the PC and console versions, this game has been specifically designed for touchscreen devices. Number 84, Smash Legends, a 3D action game that lets you fight in exciting 3 vs 3 battles that last a maximum of 3 minutes. Now on number 85, T3 Arena. This one is a PvP action game from a third-person perspective, which is very attractive in appearance and extremely fascinating in gameplay. Number 86, World War Armies. It's an entertaining strategy and management video game set on the battlefields of World War II. And on number 87, World War Heroes, a great shooting game that pits the player against steel soldiers around the world in the context of World War II. Number 88, Harry Potter Magic Awakened, a game that mixes role-playing and cards to transport you to the magical universe of Harry Potter. On number 89, Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent, a side-scrolling RPG in which you can control almost 10 different protagonists. The title's graphics match perfectly with the soundtrack to offer an enjoyable gaming experience. Moving on to number 90, Dungeon Hunter 6. It's an action-packed RPG in which you can revisit the of this well-known franchise that has delighted so many players around the world since the release of its first installment. On number 91, Sky, Children of the Light. This one is an adventure game where you get to go alongside the Children of the Light through a magical journey. On number 92, Undone. It's the new shooter RPG from Tencent and Lightspeed and Quantum Studios. Through spectacular graphics, this title promises immersion in an open world that is being destroyed by zombies and other extremely dangerous creatures. 93, Life After. It's a 3D action survival game. Players control one of the last survivors left after the zombie apocalypse has ravaged modern society. Number 94, Life is Strange, a graphic adventure where you take on the life of the talented young Maxine, a high school student who's recently discovered her budding superpower, going back in time to change the course of events. On number 95, Torchlight Infinite. It's an action RPG that takes place right after the second installment of the saga created by Runic Games. Number 96, Injustice 2. This is the continuation of the legendary first part of the game Injustice, and as is known to all of its millions of fans, this is just a great fighting game. Number 97, Black Desert Mobile, a spectacular MMORPG in every sense of the word, missing nothing from other games within this genre. Whether on Android, PC or console, this title delivers what you are bargaining for. Next over at number 98, The Legend of Neverland. It's an MMORPG with anime aesthetic that takes players into a wonderful fantasy world where you have to stop monsters from attacking it. On number 99, Dynasty Legends 2. It's an action RPG where the battles in it take place in huge locations where thousands of units gather. And final game of the list, Battle Prime, a third-person shooter that challenges you to control primes, virtual soldiers specifically designed to face each other in exciting online duels. And that's it for today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please drop a like on this video and subscribe with notifications on. And don't forget to mention your favorite game that maybe I forgot to mention. Thanks for watching and we'll catch up in the next video.